Live from Owings Mills, Maryland, it's the Max Fortune Show. Whether it's becoming a success by achieving your dreams and goals, growing your business, or unlocking your full potential, the Max Fortune Show specializes in helping you maximize your fortune. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Max Fortune Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Max Fortune Show. I'm your host, Max Fortune. Again, as we come to you every week, I am an author, motivational speaker, publisher, and a book coach. And here today on the show, we actually have an entrepreneur, Bitcoin investor, a leader affiliated with Waszzup Crowdfunding that works with people globally all over the world. We have Jannete Little here. So thank you. I wish we had like an applause button. We don't have an applause button. Jannete will be introducing us one of these two cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency boom that is once in a lifetime opportunity. So I want you to continue to tune in. I know that we put this out there for a lot of people who are hopping into this program. So I know we have a lot of people that will be watching. And so if you know someone else who would like to hear about this opportunity with Waszzup Crowdfunding, make sure you share it. So go to, again, if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, just make sure you share it with friends or anybody that you think might get some value out of it. So I'm really excited to talk to you about that.
I'm glad to be here.
And just to let you know, everybody, the Max Fortune Show is recorded live. The show has calls and viewers, calls coming in from viewers and listeners. So again, you can interact with us one of two ways. You can either comment online and we'll be able to respond to your comments on Facebook, or you can call us here at toll-free 844-220-2266. Again, that phone number is 844-220-2266. So again, you can call us here with that number. Now, again, so that's how you can call in during the show. You can ask questions of Jannete, questions about myself. So you can do that. You can also email us here on the show, and that's at maxfortuneshow@gmail.com. So again, that's maxfortuneshow@gmail. I did want to talk about, before we get into the show today, I want to talk about our meetup we're having for writers on the 17th, or the 19th rather, of September. So again, if you're interested in going to that write-up, please go to fortunepublishinggroup.com/workshop. Again, that's fortunepublishinggroup.com/workshop. So let's get right into this today, okay? So again, this is our Get Rich in Your Niche segment, and we're going to be discussing a life-changing platform, crowdfunding, and this Waszzup crowdfunding thing. So let's get into that, and but you know what, Jannete, before we kind of get into everything, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, and I've been being an entrepreneur for over 30 years. My primary job is a realtor, but right now I'm about helping people around the world to reach their financial dreams. And so one of my main goals is to teach people, because I'm a former IRS agent. I learned a lot about businesses and why you need to have businesses in the home. Having a home-based business of any type will help you reach your financial dreams a lot sooner than working at a job. So that's one of the important goals I have now.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying it's so you've realized the advantage of doing that versus getting a job or working for other people, and the importance of that.
Yes. Because I think everyone, as they start out as young, should get a job and learn the ethics of going to work and how to deal with people in the world. But you should also always have something of your own. And the only way to have something of your own is to create something that you enjoy doing, or something that can increase your income by working from your kitchen table. That way, when somebody pulls the rug from under you on a job, you always have another source of income.
You know,
about streams.
And here's the interesting thing. I think a lot of times people, and it's sometimes, and again, as we're getting into this, a lot of times people are afraid or worried about kind of jumping out there and doing, or kind of starting your own business. And, you know, I think there's definitely a place for having a job and working. I haven't had a job in 20-some-odd years. But I think that there's an important part of that. And so I'm not saying anything about not having a job, because there is that stability piece that people kind of come to know. But flip side of that also is that a lot of times when you have a job, you're almost the last one to know if you're not going to have a job tomorrow.
Right.
And so, as much as it is stability, it isn't in today's economy. You just don't really know. So, really, the importance of being an entrepreneur is really having something as a backup. So, even if you have a job you've been on 10 years, 20 years, it doesn't hurt to have something that you can fall back on. Again, you can't leave a job to a family member, a friend, or a relative. You know, I don't think so, right?
No, you can't.
You can't do that?
No, I'm sure.
So then again, the only thing you can, but if you have a business, you can definitely do that. If you've started some type of business opportunity, whatever it is, you can usually leave that to someone else. So that's always an important facet or element. And so, how long have you been an entrepreneur?
Over 30 years.
Over
30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Even when I was working a job, I was an entrepreneur.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear that? So again, even as you're working your job out there, again, it's actually it's almost better in a lot of instances to start that way because you still have that that steady income coming in, and you need that. You know, you got bills. Everybody's got
That's
bills.
right.
You know, they don't stop. And so you definitely need that. So if you're out there and you are thinking about getting involved with something, and a lot of times it starts with maybe you're not as comfortable with whatever happens at work, maybe the commute, maybe people or whatever the situation is. But it's a good thing to be able to have something to fall back on, something that you're building that you can leave a legacy for other people. And so that's really kind of that was one of my goals and focuses with getting into business. And I think it's been probably about the same. It's been a long time. I think since it's a long time ago. So,
Yeah, I think in 1995 when I left IRS,
wow.
I realized I was allergic to a boss. So then I had no other choice but to fend for myself.
Yeah, you're allergic, huh?
Yeah.
I've been there. It's been like I said. I've been blessed to be. It's been many years, but I think I started my first business. Actually, my first business right out of high school at 18. I actually had a hot dog stand. Me and my best friend and stuff, and we just kind of grew it into an empire.
So look where you are today.
Yes, I can start from anywhere. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you start. You know,
That's correct.
start on something, and we had fun experiences. So, Mark, if you're out there listening, hey man, we had a great time selling hot dogs right by Rice Road
Oh my
Plaza.
goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy time. But so talk about selling hot dogs. What kind of hobbies do you have?
Well, I like dancing. I like traveling. I mean, I like just I'm a people's person, so I just love being out with people. And whatever I find out that I can share, that's what I'm all about, just sharing information. Because it's not meant for you to keep it, you got to share it with somebody.
Yeah, I agree. And it's such a intrinsic benefit to doing, I call it the boomerang effect. The more people you help, it kind of can't help but helping yourself by even helping others. So
That's correct.
I think so many people get that wrong. They kind of try to hoard whatever blessings they have or even whatever information they have. But there's an amazing thing that happens when we transfer information, even when we are speaking information out, we're kind of hearing it again.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so there's a power in sharing whatever information you do have out there with other people. So I definitely strongly encourage and agree with you on that. So you talked about your career with the IRS, and what other major careers and major opportunities did you enjoy during your career? Or even over the last 30 years, kind of take us a little quick snapshot.
I started in the government like 1972, and while I was doing that, I was also modeling for all the major stores, downtown stores, and so I was traveling doing that. And then I started in '87 doing real estate. So, because I felt like there was a need for some of us in real estate to help people.
Gotcha.
And I didn't have such a great experience when I first bought my first house. And I said, no, I'm going to be a real estate agent so I can help people so they don't go through what I went through. And that's how I got into the real estate industry. So for 8 years, I did dual career. I worked for IRS and did moonlighting as a realtor. And finally, in October 17th, 1995, I remember the day.
Wow.
I walked in and said, I'm allergic to my boss. And I said, I'm leaving. And that was the end of working a job. And since then, I've been a realtor. And then started doing my home-based businesses, and everything just went from there.
Wow. Like I said, you've had a storied career. So I know a lot of people know you because you were, and honestly, that's how I came to know you as a realtor. And You've had your signs out for forever, So anybody in the West Baltimore area, or really Baltimore, period, has seen your signs around, seen the marketing that you've done, and that's one thing that I do know. I mean, you're really iconic when it comes to marketing and branding yourself, and that's something we talk a lot about on the show is how to brand yourself. And I think that's something, even though we're not here to talk about real estate, but it's something that's important to do no matter what your business is to really brand yourself. A lot of times people kind of brand the opportunity more than themselves.
You have to brand yourself, because when things fall on your opportunity, if they remember you, you're still a part out there. And when you brand yourself, you definitely need to have a slogan. Like mine was "A little goes a long way" to see that you get the best result. And that same slogan works with what I'm doing now, showing people how they can take a little and make it go a long way.
That's clever, 'cause your last name's Little, and it's clever. So it's always clever when you got a marketing employee that works with whatever your name is. Especially, I mean, that's a great branding tool. We're talking about branding. And so I know you're also a serial networker. You know what I mean? So
I hear it all the time.
So talk about that. How did you, let's talk about the value of networking, or how, the importance of that. How important is that for growing a business?
Well, it's one of the most important things, because you can't have a business unless people know about you. So you have to start networking. It's the difference in doing it in locally networking with everybody in your state. When you work in like a network marketing business, you're networking all over the world. So you have people from all countries, all walks of life, and you get to just learn a lot. And I think since I've been really out here networking and like a serial person on Facebook, that's how I've met people all over the world. And they follow me and I follow them. So that's how it is.
Wow. So what would you say it takes for to become a business owner through the through I'm sorry. Okay. So anyway, so what does it take to become a business owner through your eyes? What do you think that it takes to become? What kind of I guess stamina, or I guess mentality you have to become a business owner?
Well, you can't have thin skin for sure, because when you got to find out what you really love, and you have to love what you want to do, and you have to have a passion for it, and you have to have a passion for your clients, because clients are always first. So, being in any business, you have to just write a plan, put in some action. You got to put in some, really work hard. And a lot of times, sometimes working for yourself is harder than having a job, because it doesn't stop 9 to 5. You got to go 24/7.
Did you say sometimes?
Yeah.
She said sometimes. Okay. Anybody's out there got a business? No, it's not sometimes. It's all the time. Yeah, so you don't get the time off. And I think that's interesting. And I hate to stop you there, because I want you to continue on, but but that's like a catchphrase. I think a lot of people have, I guess, almost the wrong mentality when it comes to starting your own business. They're thinking, hey, if I'm working 40 hours a week, I could work 10 or 20 hours a week, on my business, and it'll be successful and it'll grow. And it doesn't really work that way. It is almost the reverse. If you're really almost not doing 80 hours a week in your business, between 60 and 80, which 80 hours, you think about, that's a lot. It's almost 7 days a week doing 12 hours a day. So I mean, that's really almost what it takes. And so I think so many people get disillusioned with business and going into business. And again, there are successful businesses that once you kind of get it going and it's taking care of itself, that you can coast back, and you can then kind of pull back a little bit, once you got people in place and your business can take care of you. And that's really the dream of every entrepreneur, is to kind of take care of your business. And it's like a kid, where you raise your children and then hope that they take care of you as they get older. So business kind of works a lot the same way, I think, right?
Yeah, well, you have to have your business on autopilot to sit back and relax. And most businesses are not on autopilot. It takes a long time. But once you get everything in place, and your people and your marketing and income starts coming in, you got a budget, you just got to learn how to hold on to it and keep it working.
You know what, I think one of the things we talk about, and again, we're as we're kind of delving into this, we're talking about really the importance of really business. And it kind of doesn't really matter almost what business it is. There's so many different opportunities out there for you, but it's important to be able to have a way of really marketing. And I think one of the big things that a lot of people don't do is really they stop the networking and the marketing when they get into business. Because
That's
for
true.
one, so many people, I find spend more time working in their business than on their business.
Right. That's correct.
And there's so many people who don't know the difference. There is truly a difference between working in your business and working on your business. If you're working in your business, you're usually not working on your business. And if you're not working on your business, nobody's usually working on your business. So what happens to your business if nobody's working on it?
It's gone.
It's gone. So there's a big delineation between working on your business and in your business. And so, that is a big thing that I talk to people about all the time as far as entrepreneurs. I mean, it's really, really important to be able to work on your business. And I mean, you have to kind of play the dual role, but somebody's got to be working, on it, even though you may be in the beginning working on it and in it.
Right.
But you have to take the step back, and what that means is being able to do some of that marketing, do that networking, because you can't get bogged down in the office or wherever you are working. You got to get out there, like you said earlier, about networking and talking to people, because they're even just getting your information out there. There's a saying, a business with no sign is a sign of no business.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? So,
People forget about your business when you don't market,
yeah.
or they don't see your face or hear from you, or whatever. They forget about you. So you have to brand yourself.
I mean, it's really, really important to do that. I mean, and that you just said, again, branding yourself. And so the more, I mean, your face is on everything, on all your cards, everything you do, and that's branding. People
Right.
begin to know. And I think, I want to say that real estate was one of the first industries that had business card pictures on the business
Right.
card. It was
Right.
really, really big in that because it creates that familiarity already. If somebody sees your card, sees your marketing, so seeing that is really helpful. I'm actually going to this is a live show, so I have to sometimes interact because it's live.
Right.
But I'm just wondering, I hope that I see Vern. Hopefully you're not having too many problems or challenges out there. I'm not really sure what kind of challenges they're having. But people are starting to comment on the show. I want to say Aiden, Victoria, Lewis, thank you very much. I think she's watching in Ohio. So thank you for watching the show, watching us on Facebook. Thank you for doing that. Also, I wanted to invite anybody who wants to call in, has any questions for Jannete or myself. You can call the show right now, 844-220-2266. We got a phone. We'll be able to answer it. We'll be able to talk live. We're going to get into real soon this Waszzup crowdfunding thing, which everybody's anxiously waiting to hear about. So we are kind of getting into that. And you know what? A good way is what are some of your business goals? I know you've been in business for a long time, been an entrepreneur. What are some of your personal business goals?
Well, my personal business goals is to help others reach their financial dreams. Because, in the world the way it is now, a lot of people are having hard times with financing, college education, income, whatever. So one of my major goals is to help people to have some kind of business where they can help with reach their financial dreams.
And that's important. I mean, I think that's really what everyone aspires to be financially independent in some way, shape, or form. And that does mean different things to different people.
Right.
Some people it means being able to just walk away from the job. Some people it means just being able to even pay for their mortgage or their car. And even if they have a job, their business is kind of paying some of those things. And that somebody feels good about that. So everybody has different levels, and it's okay to have different levels of what your particular business goals are. So it's really, really important to do that. So let's get right into to this Waszzup crowdfunding thing. Yeah. So let's talk about that. So talk to us about that.
Well, Waszzup crowdfunding? Let me take one step back. Let me tell you why I got into Waszzup crowdfunding. With the new cryptocurrency in the world, Bitcoins is the #1 cryptocurrency. A lot of people don't even know what a Bitcoin is.
Right.
When you say, "Oh, do you have Bitcoins or do you know it?" They look at you like you got 3 heads. And really, the way cryptocurrency, which is nothing more than digital currency, which we all have always been using, because if you use a charge card, you're using digital currency.
Right.
And people don't realize that. You don't feel or touch it. The card just does it. You keep swiping everywhere you go. So when I saw realized that a lot of people around the world don't even know what it is, and it's here to stay. And then I started checking on how many ATM Bitcoin machines were in different states. Maryland has 47.
Wow.
And they're in locations that people probably walk right by them. So that lets me know it's here to stay. DC has 1,776. And if DC has that many, it's not going anywhere. And you can go on Google and just put in ATM machine, how many ATM Bitcoin machines are in what state. It'll tell you how many and everywhere they're located. Wow. And in Baltimore, there's one on Pennsylvania Avenue. I asked, yes, in the 1500 block. So anybody from Baltimore, y'all know what I mean.
Okay, all right. So
yes.
Some cryptocurrency going on over there.
Yeah, cryptocurrency is going on all around us, and it's a currency that's being used every day. I mean, you can have a Bitcoin Visa card, and we'll talk about that later, how you can use it every day in your everyday, buying groceries, eating out, buying a car, buying a house, whatever you want to use it for.
You know what, it's funny, I was explaining this to someone recently about, Bitcoin and what it is. It's almost like what it was maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago, how foreign it was to use an ATM and not cash. You know what I mean? And how foreign that idea and that concept was I don't have any money, but you got money on a card, and that just seems so weird.
Right.
And now guess what? Everybody is using, you rarely carry cash around nowadays because all your money's on the card. And so, again, this digital currency. So Bitcoin, like you said, is a lot like that, but it's a universal coin. It's not really U.S. currency. It's not any kind of particular currency.
It's not. In a lot of foreign countries, it's one of their main currencies. In the U.S., it's accepted. And so everybody you can just use it in everyday walk of life. That's how it is. And, I got turned on to Bitcoins in late 2008. It came out in 2009. It was 10 cents a coin.
10 cents?
10 cents when it first came out. And every time someone would come to me and say, Jannete, you better buy some of these Bitcoins, because I was networking then. And then it got to 20 cents. Then it went up to $1. Then it went to, and I still, for some reason, I just wasn't ready to stick my toe in the water, but I kept saying, okay, I'll get back to it. By the time I got ready to stick my toe in the water, it was $1,200 a coin. And I said, oh no, I got to stick my toe in the water now. And when I started then, I've seen how it's grown. And I know it's predicted to be, by the end of this year, about $7,500 a coin. And by 2020, it's supposed to be up to 10 or more. So it's moving.
It's funny. Ironically, my son's a real high-tech guy. He told me about this back in maybe 2013. And I think even then, the coins were maybe at the low $1,000 mark. But I was even looking and doing some research for the show, and I was seeing in 2009 that Bitcoins were like $800. And now, I think as of last night when I checked, it was like $4,000 for a Bitcoin, which is ridiculous. So what I want to do while we're kind of talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, let's explain Bitcoin a little bit to where it's not like a coin. So people think it's a $4,000 coin. No, it's really not. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I always relate it to a dollar bill. A dollar bill, when someone gives you that dollar bill, you can break it in fractions, 1 penny, 10 cents, quarters, and like that. Bitcoin is the same thing. It's one coin that's over $4,000, but you can buy it in fractions. Like you can buy a 0.2% or whatever, and that until you get a hold. And that's the way it is with the Bitcoin. Actually, there are 270 cryptocurrencies in the world. They're not all worth money, but at least 5 of them are right now. And so when people think, well, I just need one coin. No, you don't need just one Bitcoin. You need to have several Bitcoins. There are 21 million Bitcoins out there. And right now, that's why everybody's grabbing for them, because when they get all distributed, then the money's going to go up even higher to get a Bitcoin. So everybody knows you can take a Bitcoin and break it in fractions. Like if you have some in your wallet, you can go to the store and spend $20 of a part of your coin. So you can break it down like that.
Right. So the okay. So now we talked about Bitcoin a little bit and what it is and cryptocurrency, and so let's get into, because I think I was asking about the Waszzup crowdfunding and how that works, and so talk about that a little bit for the people who are watching.
Okay, well, my reason for doing What's Up crowdfunding is a way to show people, get people started understanding the Bitcoins, the cryptocurrency. And this program, What's Up, is a global program where we are working on building $1 million for humanity causes, and we need a lot of money to help around the world in that. So that's how the program got started. The CEO of Ash Shahid, who started it, his only son died at 25, and he always wanted to be a global humanitarian. So his father started this program in his honor.
Oh, wow.
So that's how it all got started. It has one of the most intrigued automation systems. Nobody touches anything. The money is put into the system and you get paid out of the system. So the key to What's Up crowdfunding is that everybody donates $35 in Bitcoins. And then you bring in 3 people. And if everybody does that around the world, we will reach the goal of $1 million for humanity causes.
Wow. So actually it's one of those things that's kind of set to get 3 people. So we're actually kind of come in and pay $35. So is there any multiple fees with this? Do you pay this? How often do you have to pay $35?
No, it's one time $35 that's paid in Bitcoins, and you bring in 3, and then next person brings in 3. It just builds like that all over the world. But there are no monthly fees. There are no other fees after that. It's a 3x8 matrix. It goes to level 8, and then that's it. And it starts from, we're not going to get into the money of it.
Well, yeah, no, we won't get
We'll
into
get
that.
it later.
Right.
Okay.
So talk to people who are watching a little bit about crowdfunding. What is crowdfunding?
Okay. Well, let me tell you, crowdfunding started when President Obama signed the bill in April 2012, I think. It's called the Jobs Act. It's Jumpstart a Business Act. And so when he did that, that Job Act meant that you could raise money for any kind of cause, any kind of business through people have heard of GoFundMe, those kind of different crowdfundings. So this is the same type. It's just crowdfunding. Everybody's coming together for a cause to raise money. And what's like this one is you donate 35 and then they donate back to you where you can generate an income from it. So it not only helps the person you're giving the 35 to, you're also giving back to yourself as well.
And you know, with crowdfunding, I think we were talking, you and I, and you made a really great analogy of crowdfunding as kind of like church, like kind of how church operates. And so, you know, I think sometimes people overcomplicate some of these concepts. And so you were explaining that crowdfunding, like church is kind of crowdfunding. You know, when you go to church, everybody's familiar with going to church, and the plate comes around, everybody's putting money in the crowd.
Right.
Is putting money in.
Same
and
thing.
That's how the church is funded, through the crowd. So it kind of works the same way as what you're saying.
Yes, same way.
As opposed to this is just working online, and there's not an actual physical plate coming around.
No, you send it online. That's it.
Send it online. The important thing about that, I think, is really, I think sometimes when it comes to different business opportunities, people kind of get confused, and sometimes because of that, they really don't want to ask more questions. They kind of sit back and watch and wait. And what will happen, I guess, if people are going to watch and wait. Now, I guess we're talking about, this hasn't fully launched yet,
No.
but it's at pre-launch right now.
It's in pre-launch.
So this is one of those things that, I talk to people all the time. When we have people on this show, or just people that I just talked to or come in contact with, when it comes to business opportunities, you really want to jump on it in advance, on what they call the ground floor. Not wait until it's already booming and people are already going. A lot of people will sit on the sidelines and wait to see what's going to happen before they kind of jump in.
Right.
And it's kind of like what you do with the Bitcoin thing. You're watching it 10 cents, and now, and honestly, it's one of those things we're all guilty of it, to be honest. We're all guilty of, hey, I don't fully understand this, so I'm just going to wait, you know? And so as we're talking to people, as I've been talking to people even about this, it's one of those things that there are opportunities that come. The world is a fascinating place right now in technology. There's so many things that are happening, and I actually implore people to kind of do some. I mean, we're in a stage and phase of the world that really there's nothing you really almost can't find out by going on Google and finding out. So there's really no reason, no excuse. Back in the day, I know you remember, having to use encyclopedia. My mom had encyclopedias,
Right.
and we had to get those the World Book encyclopedias. I think if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
And that's how you did research. You researched an encyclopedia. How often did the encyclopedia come out? I really didn't even know. I don't think it came out every year.
No.
But think about how hard that was to get information. You had to wait for it to be printed somewhere, or we went to the library. And guess what? That was even older information.
Right.
Than even that. So we're at an age and phase that really everyone has a phone. Information is right at your fingertips. So there's really no reason. Information is really the great equalizer.
Right. That's true.
And so when you understand how to, if you're not where you want to be in life right now, financially or in business or personally, there's really, there's so much access to. We all have access to so much information. We truly are in the information age, and there's so many different ways out there to gain information. So I'm going to implore you to learn about Bitcoin, learn about crowdfunding, learn about this Waszzup crowdfunding.
Right.
And so what I am going to do, as we're going on again, I do want to put back out there again, if you have questions or comments, we're seeing people watching here. If you have comments for Jannete about Waszzup crowdfunding, please call us here right now at 844-220-2266. You can get her right there on the line. If you have questions for me, again, that same number, 844-220-2266. And anybody who is, as we're talking about this, I also want to put this out there, that if you are thinking about coming in and doing this as a business, I'm going to actually have you. I wrote down a couple of things, some information that we need. So this is what I would like you to email to us here at the show, and we'll actually reach back out to you, and we'll have the producer reach back out to you and provide you or help you kind of get signed up in the process. If this is something you really are interested in, so I'm going to ask you to please write this down. Write down your name, your email, your phone number, your gender, city, state, zip code. This is your birthday and your sponsor's name. So again, if you don't have a sponsor, you can just put my name on it. But anyway, but send us that information. Email it to maxfortuneshow@gmail.com. And again, that's your name, your email, your phone number, your gender, city, state, and zip, and your birthday. And why are they asking for this information? This is what actually it takes to create an account for you on Waszzup crowdfunding, and to really, I want to kind of go back to this whole thing of really helping people, because that's what it is. You kind of come in, and the whole premise is you get 3 people, to kind of donate, do the same donation, and then you really are showing those 3 people how to do the same thing.
That's right.
And it's just a reciprocal process. So you're going back to what you're saying. It's a one-time pay-in.
It's a one-time pay-in, and you have to be 18 years of age to join.
Important to know.
Yeah, we have to put that out there. And you don't have to pay anything else. Once you have your 3 people, you're now eligible to get paid.
Wow.
And it's great because if you have family issues or things you're trying to reach, your financial dreams, this is one way can help you create that income. Because as you give 35, you're going to get a lot more back in return.
And you know what? I know we're not going to get really, really deep into that, but I kind of would like you to talk a little bit about what is the return potential to some degree. So kind of, can you
even
go
to the 4th most levels, you have 8 levels. So it's over $1 million if you get to a couple millions of dollars if you get to the 8th level.
Yes.
But let's just say on to the 4th level, that's like $56,000, and that's on you. So if you have 3 people,
I was going to say, so
let's
tell us how
start
to
like
get the
that.
4th level.
Okay, you come in and you pay 35 and bring in 3 people. You're going to end up with 75. They're going to take 50 of that and take you to the 2nd level. Then that's your 3 get 3. That's 9, and then that 9 gets 3. Then it's 27. Then the 27 gets 3. Now you're at 81, and that's how you reach to $56,000.
Wow.
So at each level, you're getting paid.
So each level, so you're paying one time, and you're getting paid each time a level completes.
Yes.
And you get paid again,
Right.
over and over again for the same one-time
For the
investment.
same one investment, you get paid over and over again, 8 levels deep, and you're getting paid in Bitcoins, and you can change that. In other words, you can take Bitcoins and convert it back to US dollars if you want, or you can leave it in the Bitcoins and just let it sit and just grow. One thing about the Bitcoins in your pocket, $1 doesn't change in your pocket. When you put a Bitcoin in your pocket, if it goes up on the Forex, that next day you got more money.
Yeah.
You could have 500 one day, and the next day you could have 1,000 in your pocket. It's based on how it goes up and down. So it's like making money in your sleep.
So it's really kind of making money in two ways.
Yes.
You know, kind of that initial donation, but then the compounding nature
Right.
of how Bitcoin is going to work, and Bitcoin is only going to get more popular. It's only going to become more valuable. It's almost I don't know if this is a good analogy, but like the stock market kind of.
It is similar,
yeah,
yes.
in a sense. But I think that it's maybe has lesser valleys.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me delineate that,
Yeah.
or make sure I because again I've been watching it for the last couple of days and just kind of seeing. So yes, it does. The valleys are not low. It doesn't dip like the stock market like that. But what I meant by that is that the dollar you have today could be worth more. That coin that you get today can and will be worth more as the more you keep it in there. But again, you can move it, convert it into cash. But there are so many different places that even as you're shopping online, that's an option. Like the other example I gave people, because sometimes it's better to relate something to something people can relate to.
Right.
Like even PayPal.
Okay.
Is kind of like I know a lot of people still sometimes there's fewer people now, but 10 years ago PayPal seemed weird. They say PayPal, you put money, but it's hard concept to email people money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can do it now.
Yes, you can do it now. So many different applications for that are out there. So again, what I do want to say to people, what's important, what is hugely important is to really get in on trends at the beginning of the trend, not as the train is already taken off, not as things have already happened. It's the people who really benefit the most are the people who have vision, who've had can see. And what vision means is really seeing what's not there yet, but the possibility of things. And to be honest with you, I've started a lot of different things as many people have, and I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur myself. I'm just one of those guys that I don't want to be that person that heard of a good opportunity and I just sat by and I just didn't do anything with it. The other thing that I will say, which to me, if you're an entrepreneur or you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur, I will always say to people, the most important thing you do is either be in or out. You know what I mean? If you're in, go all in, give it everything you need. Everything you have, and give it everything you have. So I tell anybody who's been around me for more than a couple hours, I'd say I only have two speeds, 0 and 150. So either I am doing 0 or I'm doing everything and then some.
That's right.
And so if you're getting into this business or whatever business you're doing, I'm going to implore you to give it all you have. And the reason why you want to do that, the importance of that is, a life of no regrets is very important. If you can, even not everything in life is going to work. But again, at the end of the day, you don't want to have the what if syndrome.
Right.
You don't want to wonder if. I'm wondering if I can read that again. I can't read that. You need marker or something. Okay, and you know what? I'm reading a comment from Barbara Nasir saying, "What I love about this is that your initial investment goes to a charity that you're giving to."
Right.
So that's an important thing to talk about. So I think is it one particular charity that this is going to, or multiple charities?
That's why they say it's global humanity causes, because it could be to the veterans, it could be the heart diseases, it could be mothers with no husbands, it could be any kind. And we don't have a list set per se. It's going to one direct, but it's going to be global. So when they decide how the criteria is, but it's all different causes.
So who controls the cause? Is it something that the company kind of decides where those dollars go, or is it something you're able to decide on your own level?
Well, right now, since we haven't launched yet, they already have lined up that they're going to give to. They even talk about giving to the storm causes that we had in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, and right now we have a lot of need for causes, so they're putting that on the list too. So it'll be a variety of. It's not going to be any one.
Wow.
it's going to be where the money is needed the most. That's where they're going to send it.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, I mean, you get the comfort of knowing that not only are you going to make a little bit of money, but you're also doing something that's going to help.
Right.
I think one of the things that was intriguing about this is there are very few business opportunities that have a one-time buy-in that's this low. So I guess what I'm saying for all the people who normally would kind of stand by and kind of watch, I mean, because a lot of times if this was $3,500,
Right.
it'd probably still be a good deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You probably still could make that. Things probably would happen faster money-wise, but I mean, the average person may not be comfortable putting $3,500 in.
Well, I think this, the owner of the company, that was one thing he wanted. He wanted it to be at a price point where everybody could afford it. Anybody could. Because when you're talking about some of the foreign countries that are coming in, they don't have as much. Their money's not worth it like our money is over here, even though our dollar's not worth that much either. But that's one reason why he made it 35. And out of the 35, 10 goes to admin to help keep them platform going, and the other part goes in.
So so I want to reiterate as you know that so many people, like I said, I think sit and watch and wait for something like that. I want to sit and wait and watch to see what happens, and what happens a lot of times is the opportunity goes by, and you're now hearing about other people who kind of jumped in and took advantage of it, and you know you're gonna sit there buy it. I'm saying, hey, you know, $35. That's maybe not even a full dinner. That's maybe,
No,
it's
not today.
It's more than lunch, but
Right.
but it's not a dinner, you know. And if you can sacrifice one dinner to probably, you know, change your life and maybe the lives of other people and give to other people, it's worth a
It's
shot.
worth it.
And you know, so again, it's one of those things that so this kind of launches when officially. When is this officially?
We're launching October 1.
October 1. So that's in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So, I mean, again, it's still not too late. People
No,
can still jump in.
We started signing up on Sunday, this past Sunday. So now we're telling everybody, if you want to get in, just come on and get in. You don't even have to start paying until
You know what? I was
after
going
the
to
20th.
mention that because I just saw that somewhere in some of the stuff. So I want you to repeat that again.
Okay.
So
You can sign up today, and you don't have to pay your $35 until we start paying in the system after the 21st. Yes.
So what that means is, again, I know that there's some people that I kind of talked to about this, and there's people watching this out there that maybe their sponsor, people who are going to watch it, maybe the person who told them to watch the show, or maybe the person who's told them about Waszzup crowdfunding. Again, you want to definitely make sure that you reach back out to that person and that you do sign up, knowing that you do not have to put any money if the money is the issue right now. It's not money that you have to do right now. But I think the focus right now you're saying is getting in right now.
Right, getting in and bringing in 3 people.
And bringing in 3 people.
Bringing in 3.
And I will tell you, I don't know the exact number, but I kind of was playing around with this thing last night, and I put someone in the platform in the morning. Overnight, there was like, you know, through a 7-8 hour period, there's like 500 people.
Oh, that's true.
Came in that just from between 12 or 12:30 and 8 a.m.
But you know, I don't know any other. I've been in a lot of network marketing companies, and this is not network marketing.
You know,
this is really just a donation type thing. So, but I'm just saying, on everything I've been in type of business, I've never seen anything start with $35 at one time, and you can make as much as over several millions of dollars. And just by sharing the information with 3 people, and everybody just keeps doing the same, and that's all it's about.
And again, it's I think even for some people listening, to crowdfunding is not really a foreign idea. Actually, something that's been around since the 1800s.
Yes.
It became not something that could be done here for a while, but now, like I said, since the Jobs Act was signed, now it's something, and we saw the rise of Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, you know, and so there's so many different platforms out there with crowdfunding. This is just another crowdfunding platform. It's nothing, you know, I talked to someone about it, and somebody just felt like it was, you know, maybe, you know, less than kosher, you know, and so you're going to have people who are going to have, what do you say to people who are going to have kind of naysayers, or people say, well, I don't know, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like this, this doesn't seem
Well,
like it's
and I
something
tell
that's
them like
kosher.
this, you know what? You may think it's negative, but for $35, I'll take my chance. Because I mean, you're always going to have some people want to think it's anything other than right because it's too good to be true or something they've never heard of, and people want to say it's a pyramid, but everything in life is a pyramid. If you're on a job, that's
Right.
definitely a pyramid.
Yeah. And as a philosophy or a saying that goes really throughout the network and marketing, even though this is not network marketing, but that saying is some will, some won't, so what?
What next?
Yeah.
That's it.
So again, and that's just really with life anyway.
Mhm.
There's always going to be someone telling you, "Hey, this is not a great idea. You shouldn't do it. Do
Right.
this, that, and the other." But what I will do is I will say it's always good to pay attention to the person who's giving you that advice.
That's true.
Because if that person is not where you want to be, then you don't take advice from somebody who's not where you want to be.
Right.
And I think that's a mistake that so many people make. They listen to people who are not somewhere in life where they want to be.
Right, and then they go nowhere.
Right, and you're wondering why you don't get anywhere. You really have to pay attention to who you got to pay attention to the advice or from the person you're getting. So,
That's true. Yes.
So let me ask you this. I know, like I said, you were being the serial entrepreneur and networker that you are. You said people just started signing up about a week or so ago. How many people are kind of in your particular
In
your
my
downline?
group, I know I have right now in my 3 legs probably over 1,000 people,
Wow.
and because people were waiting just to start signing up. I mean, my phone was ringing off the hook. When are we gonna sign up? When are we gonna sign up? So we started Sunday, and it's just going viral.
Wow.
So I know we're gonna reach that goal very soon.
Okay, so you know what? I have another question here. So it says, what happens if you save 1% for a year without using it?
If you
So I
say,
guess, yeah, I realize it's 1%, but I guess if you're saving money, I guess with the Bitcoin,
Mhm.
it's not something you have to spend.
No.
You can leave your money in that Bitcoin account,
Right.
and it will continue to accumulate. I don't know if it's interest per se, but it will accumulate in value.
Well, there are other ways. Once you get the Bitcoins, you can put them in other businesses to help you compound them to get more return on your money.
And you know what
So,
I
yeah,
think
we'll
at the
do that
top,
the
right,
next
I was going to say, you were talking about that before. So again, we're going to bring Jannete back to, once this thing launches, we're going to bring her back and we're going to actually have her talk about some of the other things that you can do. Because I think one of the big, like I said, as you start the show with, hey, your passion is really
Right.
helping people
Mhm.
and educating people.
True.
And so there's some ways that you're saying, hey, people who are getting into this and they're kind of generating this kind of money, there's some other ways that they can even compound that.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
that's really one of the major wealth principles is really kind of being able to have your money work for you over and over again, or
That's
in different things that
I
so it's
always
compounding.
like to say, make money work, make money, make money. Money makes money. So
Yes.
if you have the Bitcoins, that's money. And then you take that and make money off of that, and then you have more.
You know what? So again, that is definitely one. Okay, so we got another comment here from Arthur Miller. Hey, out there, yeah, authors out there, I think in Chicagoland. So it says, if you want information about saving money, talk to a CPA or a banker, not a shoe salesman. So I gotta
He's
I gotta
right.
agree with that. Yes, or not at the guy in the barber shop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So many people are the hair salon, I guess, and so many people. Again, you really have to pay attention to who you're getting advice from.
Yeah, I want to comment on that with Arthur. There are actually CPAs around the country now that accept Bitcoins as payment for their services.
Wow.
So Arthur can look forward to getting one and share his Bitcoins.
So I know that this is probably, Arthur, something right up your alley. Hopefully, if it is, I do want anybody listening in. Honestly, I want to ask you, if you're listening in and you want to see how you can be a part of this thing. This has not launched. It launches in about 2 weeks fully, and so you want to get on the train now. And so if you want to get brought in, what you can do is email us here at the Max Fortune Show. And again, please write this information down, because we really do need all of this information to really be able to help you get logged in. So we need your name, your email, your phone number, your gender, city, state, zip code, birthday, and if you know a sponsor's name, put that on there. And again, we'll be able to help you get that positive. Again, if it's somebody who's also watching for maybe 1 year, I before that over, I know that if you don't have anyone and you're watching the show, as we have, hundreds of people who watch the show here, again, you can put the Max Fortune Show or Max Fortune as your sponsor upline. But if you're calling because Jannete or someone in her line, you better make sure you recognize that person who kind of told you they watched the show, or the person who brought the information to you. That's really what you want to. That's the person you want to list as the sponsor's name. The person who's introduced you to this concept. And again, we're talking about Waszzup crowdfunding. Again, we have a few minutes left if somebody does have a call, and we definitely thank you for the comments online. McClendon, Grayson, thank you for watching the show. I saw a couple other people. The Nas Blackstone watching the show, Ronnie Alexander watching. So thanks for all the people that are watching the show right now. Again, if you do want to call, we have a few minutes. We could probably take a call or so. The phone number here is 844-220-2266. Again, that's 844-220-2266. You can call and ask Jannete any questions. Again, but make sure if you're interested in what we're talking about, make sure you email us. And so, let's talk about some of those. When you come in to this, there's a couple of other things that you need to do once you kind of send in information and get somebody uploaded in. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay, once you have agreed and you come in, sign up, you have to have several wallets, what they call Bitcoin wallets, to store your Bitcoins in. So this Waszzup is only working with blockchain. Blockchain is, just think of it as a vault. You have a safe deposit box where you put all your goodies in, your gold and everything. Blockchain stores, it's like a vault to hold your Bitcoins. Gotcha. Okay, and to get your Bitcoins in blockchain, you have to have a Bitcoin wallet, which is the processor to convert your US dollar to Bitcoins. So we use Coinbase, and you can go in all of the accounts you set up are all free. There's no fees, monthly fees or anything on them. You can go to Coinbase.com. That's a wallet you can set up, and you can attach your checking account or credit card so you can bring your US dollars over and turn them into Bitcoins. And but there are hundreds of wallets, so you don't just have to use Coinbase. There's Coinbase, there's Gemini, there's Uphold. I mean, you name it, there are several wallets around. And also, once you get in here and you start receiving the money, you want to be able to spend it. Right. So, like you have your Visa cards, MasterCards. There's a Visa card for just Bitcoins, and it's called BitPay. And you go to bitpay.com. The card is $9.98 to get it, but you have to pay with Bitcoins. Okay. So once you get your first payment of the $25, then you can use that to order your Visa card, and then you can load your money on your Visa and use it like regular cash.
You know what? I think I heard something that it actually can. You can actually, most debit cards or Visas, you can only access $500 in a day in a lot of those. But I understand you can actually access more of that money.
Well, on BitPay card, you can load up to $25,000 on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the daily spending limit on that?
You know what? I need to check that because I don't have that right in front of me. But I know it's over $5,000. Wow.
So, there's another question here from author. He's saying, is it true, and I don't know if this is for you or for me, but so is it true that if you save $200 for 10 months, for 6 years, that it will result into close to $1 million nearing retirement age? You know what? I don't have a compounding calendar.
I can tell you, and I'm not in this. We have another program which we're not going to talk about today. But if you bought a fraction of a Bitcoin, which would cost, it's €50, so that's about $65 in US, and you let it sit in the account for 5 years, you'll have about $66,000 in 5 years, and that's off of $65.
Wow!
And I have a lot of people doing that for their children, like buying that fraction and letting it sit.
Wow! So it kind of reminds me of bonds back in the day. People would get for their kids.
Those $50, $100 bonds, $25 bonds. Yeah. You had to wait 10 years from the double.
Yes.
Now I think it's 20 years from the double.
Wow. So I definitely want to thank everybody who's listening. Author saying, "Wow!" So a good thing that, so it's really, again, I'm imploring people to kind of go on Google, and there's compounding interest. You can really even do compound interest calculators. You can kind of Google that, and you can find out what kind of interest rate you're going to getting and how your money will double, triple, and it's the rule of 72, which will tell you how to, to double your money. So again, I just, as we're kind of running out of time, I definitely want to thank you for coming in. But again, as always, we definitely welcome comments from viewers, the audience live. We do the show live on Facebook, and our whole purpose of doing this show is to provide valuable information out there for people, information that we like to share. I mean, we also like to do that here on the show, share business ideas, business concepts, things that can help elevate people to another level. So again, we love talking with business owners like yourself and bringing people on and explaining your business to us and how you can actually explain to other people. And so we appreciate that. Again, what I do want to do is if anybody did find this conversation interesting, again, know that you can still take advantage of this. You can actually log on right now or get in without having to pay anything right now until the 21st, which is in another week or so. And in 2 weeks, that's when you're saying the payouts will begin in October. So again, if that interests you, if you want to get some more information, if you want to sign up because you're saying, hey, that sounds amazing, a one-time buy-in of $35, and really could definitely compound itself to $1 million. So Arthur, you can kind of get that money in 5 months, man, instead of 6 years. Okay, get in this thing. That's how you do it. So before we close and give it, I just want to let you know that again, if you are interested, send us an email, maxfortuneshow@gmail. And again, I'm going to give you this for the last time, the information that you need to send in. Send us your name, your email, your phone number, gender, your city, state, zip code, and your birthday. And whoever the person sponsored you or the person who talked to you about this program, put their name all in the email, and we'll make sure that, again, if it's somebody that's tied to us at the show, we'll go ahead and get that set up. If it's not, we're going to send it over to Jannete. But we'll get you tied in. We'll get you plugged into this program and get you to the point where you can actually take advantage of one of these opportunities, and so that you're not just going to be somebody sitting and watching everything happen. So again, we definitely like to thank everybody for tuning in and viewing the Max Fortune Show on YouTube. For replays, you can watch, or you can actually put in Max Fortune Show for replays on there. Okay, I see Arthur Miller saying he's interested. Yes, he said that I'm interested. So you definitely send us that information, man, okay? And we're going to definitely get you signed up. I know there's a lot of other people who are interested as well. So please send that information in. You can also go to AskMaxFortune.com and click on the picture for the show, and it'll take you right to our YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask you, if you're finding the information that we provide you every week, if you like our page, like it, the Ask Max Fortune page on Facebook, like it on Instagram, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel, because again, if you subscribe to the channel every time we do a show, it'll automatically go to you. You'll automatically get information. Again, want to thank you for watching the show. We appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody who tuned in, everybody who commented. We really, really love when we get comments and get to talk to people. And Jannete, thank you. Thank you so very much for coming in.
Thank you. What's up is the way to go.
Say it again.
What's up is the way to go.
All right. So if you don't want to know what's up, this is what's up.
That's what's up.
So go get into this What's Up crowdfunding. Again, have a good day. We're going to see you the same time and day next week. Thursdays, tune into the show every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. We do the show. And so I just want to say, see you later. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, next Thursday,